Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in to Press Pause today. Aurora and I are really excited to talk about our review of The Running Man, okay? Just got back from seeing The Running Man, and this is a reboot from an older film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. We absolutely loved that film, and so obviously we were very excited to hear that the reboot was coming out. So we're gonna get into it and talk a little bit about that, give our thoughts on it, our take. No spoilers here, so just gonna give high level thoughts on the movie, okay? So we'll get into that here in a second. Okay guys, so talking about The Running Man, the 2025 movie, we did just get back from watching that. Now, we're going to do a comparison, obviously, with the old film to this film. There's going to be comparisons throughout this. If you have not seen the original Running Man starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, please go back and watch that film. It's great. I absolutely loved it. One of my favorite films from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, this is a Stephen King adaptation, which, my mom will like. She's a huge Stephen King fan. And I think that this one, obviously the technology today has progressed. So we can do futuristic technology much better than we could in the days of Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? There were definitely things in that film where it looked older, out of date. It didn't really look as futuristic, okay? But this film does pull that off a lot better. Obviously, CGI and things like that have moved on quite a bit since that film came out. Now, the movie makes it a much grander scale than what we saw with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Much, much grander scale. We got the lead character there. It's an exact same character, okay? So this is a full reboot, all right? So because of that, you don't have to watch the previous film. You don't have to watch it. Now, I would encourage you to watch it just because there would be some really cool things from the original one that may not necessarily be in this one too. Back then, obviously, things were a little bit choppier when you edited and things like that, and full stories weren't really told as much in action movies. And nowadays, more things are brought into those action movies. So you do see a more human side to the lead character. Is it needed? Not necessarily. I don't think it was really needed. To me, it was kind of just filler of some screen time and didn't really add that much to the film, in my opinion. I wish they kind of did away with the whole family concept that they had in there. I just didn't think it added to the film. But again, this movie makes it on a grander scale. This is not just feeling like it's secluded to a specific area that the guy is in, right? Ben Richards is not just secluded to this one area that he's participating in The Running Man. So Glenn Powell is the one who plays Ben Richards. He does an amazing job with this. He's very much a rising talent in the film industry. I think he's going to be a really good character for action films and other films. He does really well with versatile characters, and so I'm a big fan of what he's doing out there right now. The film, just to give you an idea of the atmosphere, it gave us a mix between The Hunger Games, Squid Games, Total Recall. You mix all those together, and some of the Matrix with the chase scenes with Smith, because literally anybody you come by can be dangerous, right? So I think there's a good mix of all of those films, and when you take those are all big iconic films. You put those together, I think it's a pretty good film. I think the concept is there, and it's done well. It speaks to the current world state also. Can you trust the government? The government's there to control and put in control, right? And can you not trust the government, or can you? That's the big question. The film, with films like this, there is truth to an extent with what they're talking about, and I think that they did a pretty good job of that, especially from the time period when right after this was written by Stephen King. This was a big thing going on in the US and in the world. So does the government want control? Yes, they absolutely want control. They want control. They want to tell their narrative. They want everybody to fall in line and do what they say, even down to the courts, saying that people did things wrong or whatever, and forcing people to take plea bargains and things in court. These are things that, it's real things, So control from the government, absolutely, yeah, it's a real thing. It's out there. And this movie does put that across in a pretty good way. Similar to like the Hunger Games, when you think about how that played out, that's kind of the concept of what we're looking at here. Now, the problems with it, okay, is there was times of it was blatant contrivances that fixed the plot, right? I just think that there could have been a much better way of executing the plot to get from A to B in certain circumstances. There were just contrivances that were put in there, MacGuffins that were put in there as like, these coincidences are too much of coincidences, right? I mean, not at the level that we see in some other films, but it was pretty blatant that, hey, we just needed to get this to happen. So we put this character in there, and magically this character just has this MacGuffin to it, right? So that was a little bit frustrating for us. I think they could have done a better job if they had taken more time in the writing and the strategy of it to get there. There definitely could have been better strategies pulling the plot together to accomplish the end goal. Now there's still other players in the game as well, so you will see some other players. Obviously not all of them make it, similar to the last film we saw with Arnie. And so yeah, there's some different flavor to those characters, like sure, some you root for a little bit more than others, and some you can tell, hey, they're probably not going to make it. So that's interesting for sure. But I think overall the concept of the film, is it a good film? Sure, it's a great film. I don't have any issues with it. I think it was executed fine. It's a little bit different than the director typically goes. Like there's some things of him we didn't really see within it, but overall still really good film, and I think the acting was great. So the talent was there, the story was there, the effects was there. Obviously it was pretty good. They put a good budget into this, but it, whether you compare it to the old film and the new film, I think that to me it's probably a toss-up. I like them both just the same, and maybe it's the nostalgia effect that's getting to me, but with the Arnold Schwarzenegger film, I think that making it into a smaller group, making it into the secluded area of competition that it did, made it something that was a little more intriguing to me, whereas with it being the whole nation, it's kind of like The Purge, in a way, when you make this something on more of a nationwide scale or global scale that it tries to go to. But yeah, overall, really good film. I would say if we had to rate this, it would probably be a 7 out of 10. Maybe even an 8. If we watched it again, that might bump up, but 7 out of 10 is what we're gonna go with here. Definitely, I think you should check it out before it goes to streaming. It's gonna be in middle of December when it does that, so about a month from now. So if you can wait, go ahead. But I think it's worth spending the money to go to the theater and check this out. Talent's good, action's good, storyline's good, obviously coming from a Stephen King adaptation. But I think there's concepts from the old film that I did appreciate more. And, again, maybe it's a nostalgia effect, but I think they did a pretty good job with this. They pulled away from the action on some scenes that I think could have been a little bit better. And I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the action blended in with taking out some of the, drama and family aspects of it. But again, like I said, 7 out of 10, pretty good on our end. Aurora was excited, she enjoyed it, and I think you guys will too. So go ahead and check this out. If you got a chance to go to the theaters, I think it'll be good. And yeah, no real complaints. A lot of times getting reboots, we're upset by that. They did fine with this one. They did it justice in doing the reboot, and even Arnold Schwarzenegger himself appreciated it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next video.